Hey, chicas, welcome to Red Lips Real Talk Podcast. I'm Jasmine.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Monica.
I'm Maritza.
And I'm Davies with a Y. Get ready. Somos Latinas from South Florida.
Bringing you real talk
On life, love, and everything in between.
Time to get real. Dale. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I'm so happy to see you all. I'm so happy we're at the red table.
Yes.
I was looking forward to talking to you all and meeting here at the table because I know what we're going to talk about right now. I know that the photo shoot from this weekend, I was just ecstatic. I was so excited. I loved seeing, I just felt like such great energy and good vibes. And I was like really just enjoying everybody, like, you know, just being in their moment, you know, owning their beauty, owning their curves.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I know like some people don't feel, you know, comfortable in the camera. Some people actually may assume that I might feel comfortable in front of the camera, but I have to honestly, like, there's conversations that I have to have with myself all the time, you know?
Well,
because
I'm a fucking delusional bitch. Because let me just tell you what happened, not to interrupt you, but I was sitting there and I was like, I felt like I was a fucking superstar.
You were.
I was like, I'm like Joe Rogan level.
No, but I love that. I love that. She was like, I don't give a shit.
And then I was like, did you get my left? Get the left. My left is the good side.
I loved it too.
We were playing music.
That was fun. I'm glad you had the music on. That definitely added to it.
No, Monica, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I was really proud of you because I know that you don't really like to take a lot of pictures. And we all had to have kind of like a little mini intervention with you and be like, no, you're going to regret it.
No, but I loved it because everybody was
It was
owning.
fun, though.
I think everybody looked beautiful.
We were owning it, and I really felt too like we were cheering each other on.
Yes.
It was out of our comfort zone. Let's be real. But I loved seeing us out of our comfort zone, yet embracing that discomfort and like cheering each other on to push each other.
Yeah,
because that's what friends do.
Yeah.
So for me, that like resonated. There was like a moment, honestly, that that Maritza and I think you took the picture.
Oh, and Maritza's not here today.
I miss you.
We want you back. Hurry up.
We miss you.
And there was a moment where we took a picture by your stairwell because we were at Jasmine's house. This beautiful, amazing, you know, she hosted our photo shoot. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
But we were at on the stairwell. I think it was Jasmine took the picture. And I saw that picture and I was like, it just resonated with me. I was like, I have so many pictures with Maritza when we were young and all of us.
Yeah.
And it just like, it took me back. It took me back to a place where I was like, wow, you know, our friendships have all stood the test of time. Like we've gone through so many seasons in life, so many chapters.
Yeah.
And look where we are right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, the fact that we can all be here and say that we made it through and we've been there for each other, I think that's really significant.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to then like further reflect on the fact like, wow, you know, it prompted like, how does one get to the journey of friendships?
Well, let's take it back a little bit because before we jump there, which I totally agree with you, I wanted to go back to Monica because Monica, I know I had already mentioned that you were a little bit shy and stuff. And I remember texting you and saying, hey, you know, remember Schitt's Creek? Take 1,000 pictures of yourself because when you're older, you're going to look at those pictures with more gentle and kinder eyes. And I don't know if that affected you, but you came in through the door and me, Jessie, and Maritza were sitting in the staircase. And we had moments where we were watching you and you were smiling and you were confident. And I was like, I love that I saw that come out of you. Like it really did. And I can't wait to see your pictures, especially yours, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Excuse me, how beautiful you looked. But, you know, Justy, as you were saying, it's so many seasons, so many years, and we've evolved, and we're not the same people.
No.
I'm not the same friend that you made
Right.
when you met me. I think I'm a completely different person.
They scared me. They scared me. They were so cute.
Oh my God.
I was like looking at her. I was like, I
love
feel like
it.
there's somebody at the window.
Well, to our fans, we have stalkers in the window. We have fans that are waving at us. But again, I'm delusional because they're
They
like
are fans.
3
What are you
years
talking
old.
about? They're still
3 years
fans.
old, Deb.
They're fans.
But I mean, it's going to happen. We're going to get stalked one day, and I can't wait.
No, I don't want to stalk. I'm good.
No, but I think I love witnessing all of that. I agree with Jasmine. I love witnessing all of us, especially at this age. You know, I'm turning 50, half a century.
Well, you make 50 look good.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
babe.
you do.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, and it's hard to, you know, because you have those ruminations and the critical thoughts. And us as women, hey, no matter what age you're at, like it could be tough being a girl because we're very self-critical.
We are, yeah, it
And
can be very tough.
just because I'm 50 doesn't mean that takes it away completely. It just comes with like a little once in a while, like I don't give a shit kind
Yes.
of attitude once
Yeah.
in a while now. But that doesn't mean I wake up like that every day. You know, you still have to like, so that photo shoot meant a lot to me to see all of yous. And it was just like a moment in time.
Yeah. I mean, I hope we have a really good picture so we could update our red lips.
Girl.
Oh, we are, yeah.
I
There's
want
gotta
to
be.
put like the 5 of us looking, you know, really cool. Fabulous. Like I can't wait.
Badass.
You know me, like I'm always thinking big things and I'm always like all of us. Like we're delusional.
Listen.
Julia Fox. You got to be a little delusional. Yeah. Like I know I'm delusional, but like
When you said that, you were like, we're fucking superstars.
I felt like a superstar
I was
for
like,
4.5 hours.
That's it.
No,
I was
it
like,
felt
that's
good. It definitely
Yeah.
felt good.
And
I
then
really
like
enjoyed
just
it.
turned the like Spotify, like a random thing, and it was like 24 karat. 24 karat. And I was like, you said this was the year of being gold.
That's right.
I was
That's
like,
right. I was
that's
like,
fine.
Go, baby.
That's
Go,
because
baby.
I just turned on whatever random playlist and it was like 24 karat man.
You know, I didn't even think about that. That's so true.
To talk you so bad. It was a great day.
Yes. So I loved our weekend together.
Yeah.
And that, you know, just also gave me some time to really, you know, reflect on and what we're going to talk about today's episode. And really resonated with me.
I'm excited.
Me too, because it really resonated with me, like, you know, reflecting back on the whole journey of creating friendships. I mean, we're the Gen Xers that came from a time where like there was no technology. We spent time with each other, physical time with each other. But now fast forward, now we have technology.
time.
And even now today, even at the age we're at, you know, we've had to make friends in a different way.
Yeah.
And so with today, I'm so excited to present to the table our guests, 2 beautiful young ladies from the Gen Z generation. And
Gen
I'm
Z
just so
up in the
excited.
house. They got that collagen. Which can I just say? Well, first let me introduce yourself and then I'll say what I'm gonna say. What's your name, beautiful girl?
Leticia.
Leticia, your skin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Couldn't even give her a second.
This is why I wake up in the morning every day. It's to hear that.
Wow. How old are you, Leticia?
I am 23, just turned 23 in October.
Oh, congratulations.
So Leticia is my beautiful niece. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm excited.
And we also have here across the table, beautiful Jalissa.
Hi, I'm Jalissa.
Jalissa's 21.
21.
And she is our beautiful friend Monica's daughter.
My little mini me.
Yes, she's a mini you.
Don't forget, she's my niece too.
Yes, that's right.
My other baby.
Yes.
Well, don't let your family hold you back from saying what you want to say.
Well, let's make them feel welcome. So thank you so much for coming.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you girls here. I'm sorry, ladies. We're
Yeah.
excited to have you.
Yes. So I'm going to start with you, Leticia, if you don't mind. So just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm, again, Jessica's niece, 23. I was born, raised in Miami, moved out here in West Palm. I graduated high school and went to college. I'm class of 2020, so unfortunately that wasn't the best year for all my classmates. So everything was online. I transitioned, graduating high school, and I did literally like a ceremony here at the house with everyone at the family. So definitely not what I had planned for.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting time. And then I went to esthetician school. I did skin. And then...
Oh, I didn't know that. That's why you're still
Yes, that's why I was like, okay. I know she's acknowledging here what the effort, the everything I put in here.
Well, it's showing.
Thank you. I just got a facial too, so.
Nice. I mean, I can't believe you. I wasn't taking care of my skin. I was putting baby oil and hanging out.
That's what I was saying. Yes, that's what we were talking
That's
about.
crazy.
Earlier.
No, skin has always kind of been my thing. I mean, Jessica can tell you.
Listen, she's my consultant. She's the person I'm like, what products? Tell me, hook it up. So yes,
I got her into her microneedling.
That's right.
We got her on a skin regimen and
That's
everything.
right.
Yeah.
So.
You know, it's funny you said that you graduated in 2020. My daughter also went through the same thing.
Oh, she's 2022.
She's a 2020, and she didn't have a graduation. She didn't have a prom.
Yeah.
She had to.
It was a little, heartbreaking.
It was a little heartbreaking, and I feel there's a soft spot for specifically the 2020 graduators.
I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. So I know you said you're into skincare, but let's continue from there. What are some other things you like to do? Like, what are some of your favorite social media platforms, for example?
I used to be, I grew up on Instagram. I think, my generation was the generation where Instagram started becoming a thing. TikTok. Twitter. I kind of let go of TikTok because it became a bit of a toxic kind of app for me. I think everyone's algorithm is a little different. So I think at the time too, I was also in New York. And so what I was seeing there and what was going on my TikTok, it wasn't healthy for me to take in on a daily basis. So
That's interesting you say that because you're seeing things from where you're at in your state, which was New York at that time.
Yes. And I didn't realize that really does go based off where you're living.
Yeah.
My algorithm was different living like in West Palm. I was seeing a few different things. And then in New York, I was seeing like that kind of like world. It's like different worlds. It's kind of weird, social media. But I think I'm more so on Instagram and Twitter.
Really?
I love Twitter. I love Twitter. I think my generation is also big on Twitter too. But I only go there.
I'm very surprised. I was not expecting that.
I'm learning.
I love Twitter. Yes. I go there really for like to learn skin. I go there for like skin facts, health facts. I'm always learning things like news. I don't like watching TV like news.
Okay. I think most people don't.
Right.
No, I don't like the way it's kind of gives off like the
way we're getting our news.
Yes, the delivery, how we're delivering it.
Yeah.
I like kind of viewing the news on like Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a better space there, I think. So, I usually use Twitter just to like learn things. I've kind of learned with social media because it can be a delicate thing with social media. And I think our generation, we're very sensitive what's being like shared and how we're perceiving it and stuff. So I really changed my mindset as far as how social media works for me. I don't take it too personal anymore. It's just everyone's posting and going on about their day and that's it. But I used to be really big on like comparing, a lot of my people my age are content creators and they're buying these penthouses in like LA and, they're living a whole completely different life than an average like 23-year-old. I'm, figuring myself out and stuff. So it's hard to not want to compare, Yeah,
but that's fake. Most of those people, because I did a little due diligence on that, and a lot of those people were just showing up to like people's houses and taking like videos in front of these amazing homes or videos in front of these amazing cars.
I grew up with, some girls that ended up actually being content creators and like they're doing their thing on TikTok or whatever. And they've made, like a well-off living for themselves and stuff. So seeing that and like kind of like not in a sense wanting to compare, but it's hard not to when it's all over social media and it's an aesthetic and it's like what you want at the same time, but you don't want to like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to compare myself, but damn, how nice it would be to live a life like that and show my life in that way.
So so piggybacking on what you said, Jalissa, so what platforms do you use? And what do you think about what Leticia just shared?
I'm very big on TikTok. Like very, very big. Like when it was gonna get taken away, I was not gonna lie.
I had a full-fledged breakdown.
Listen, I'm here to say I had to check on Jasmine. Like, Jasmine, are you okay?
But you know what? I got accused of crying, and I was like, I did not cry. My eyes were swollen. Relax.
You cried before.
You know what I learned? TikTok is that toxic ex. They keep leaving and then they come back. I
can't with you right now. We need to stop.
So Jalissa, let's let our hearers learn a little bit about you. So your name is Jalissa and you're 21, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I graduated high school in 2021, so I didn't get to get the effect of the COVID, just a little bit, nothing crazy. And right out of high school, I already knew exactly like what field I wanted to go into and go to college for. So I'm currently a nursing student.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's
That's amazing.
So I went straight into college and just worked and did school, and that's pretty much it.
So you're in the grind right now.
Yeah,
Working, making money, going to nursing school.
Yeah, I'm locked in right
You're
now.
locked in.
Exactly. It's a good way to put
You're
it.
doing your
Locked
thing.
in.
Okay, so you do use TikTok. Do you use it for fun, or do you use it more for like, or do you create content?
I use it more for fun, and my content, quote unquote, is for fun. Like it's for me and my friends to just like look back and like, oh my god, that's so funny, like that video. But no, actually, I mainly use it to learn new line dances because I do line dancing.
Oh wow!
By the way, Pitbull, you are a very big inspiration to the.
Shut up! Shut
I gotta research that.
Wait a minute.
We
He
gotta
Is there?
has
research that.
600 line dances to his songs.
Girl, we need to do that. We need to do that. We need to do a video. We need to do a video on that.
My God!
I wish everybody could see Jonathan's face right now.
We need to
I
do.
thought it was just like country music.
No, line dance. There's
It's a thing.
There's Pitbull line dancing.
yes.
Now I have to say, is this like just recent? Because I know Beyonce came out with her album. Like, did that just take it to that level, or no?
No.
even before that.
No,
Okay,
like-
I was just curious.
Line dancing, a lot of people when they hear that they think like country music and like square dancing, but getting into it was like so different.
How did you get into it? I'm so curious.
Well,
Fascinated by this right now.
it used to be just like a place that I would go and hang out with my friends and like just socialize. But then like sitting there and watching the people dance, I'm like, oh wow, that's actually like really cool. You know, like super, super cool. I need to like grind and like learn these dances so I can be like one of them. And so TikTok became like a very big help on that. And I guess just like scrolling and looking and like all of a sudden my whole entire algorithm like had to deal with TikTok.
But let me ask a
Or
question.
line
Is this
dancing.
like a whole, like, so is there specific dances for each song and everybody does it the same in different states?
Yeah, well, it can vary. Like the West Coast sometimes has different dances.
Well, it's the West Coast.
Yeah.
They're always different.
They have their different version of like the same song that we may use here, but typically all around like Broward and like West Palm and like mainly Florida, they have like the same dances to the same songs.
That's so interesting. And now I got to
we need to have a red lips.
We need to do a line dance video. Red
It's
lips.
gonna
I already
happen.
got to teach you guys.
We're going to record it. We're going to upload. It's happening.
We're having a post meeting about that.
And it's going to be to
I can,
Pitbull.
on the
I can
agenda.
teach you guys.
I love that.
I love it.
You're going to be our instructor.
And I have yet to learn one because it's just a lot of hand-eye coordination that I don't have right now at this age.
So is it safe to say that that's something that you do for fun?
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely like a therapy.
Really?
De-stressor.
Like
That's-
therapy?
That's
Yeah.
nice to hear.
Okay.
It is. Like if I'm like feeling down, go line dancing.
Go
If,
line
like,
dance.
I want to celebrate
Wow.
something, go line dancing. And like if I'm really stressed out,
Man, I'm learning a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
I love this.
Do you line dance by any chance, Leticia?
No, but I
Jump on that.
I actually have a few like girlfriends I grew up with down south, like in Miami. And I think it's like every Thursday, like girls' night, and
at PBR. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what it is. And they all go there. And it's so cute.
What is PBR? Teach me.
I think you would know more about it.
PBR is just a line dancing place in Miami. So there's actually 2 places in Miami. When I heard about it in Miami, I'm like,
Really?
This happens in Miami, right?
Like,
That was my first
I was a
thought.
little
So there's nobody like doing the dog
In
noises. I'm like,
Miami?
DMX.
when I heard that it was in Miami, I was a little skeptical. I'm like, oh, you know, it's probably going to be like a bunch of Latin music, like not like true line dancing. But I went there for the first time and it was like actually a pretty cool place. Like they have like
Wow.
all these lights and like it's a very big entertaining like kind of thing.
Yeah, they look like they all have like fun.
Oh
there,
yeah, it's so fun.
Well, you ladies are going to have to go together now.
Yeah. You'll put me onto this.
Okay. That's
great.
So one of the main reasons we have you beautiful ladies here is because we want to learn about your generation. But we're always talking on our podcast about how we became friends and that we've been friends, some of us since middle school, some of us since high school. And I know other young ladies such as yourselves who admire that about our little clique. And they'll be like, it's so different to have friendships that stand the test of time like you ladies. So that's why we wanted to do this show. So with that said, like when you go to line dancing, is it easy for you to just like meet people there and get friendly and like exchange numbers and or who you showed up with? That's who you hang out with the whole night and that's it.
Yes and no.
Okay.
at first it was a little intimidating because you look at these people and you're like, they know what they're doing. You know, if I try and go and dance next to them, I'm going to look like a fool of myself. I don't want to step on their toes and whatnot. But after going there week after week after week and making it like a thing, I went from going with only the same two people to now having a group of 14.
Oh, wow. And that was from meeting at the line dancing place. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm really happy to hear that.
So going from the same two people to now walking in with 14 people and you're that big group of people in the line that is causing the line to go slow. It's like looking back on it, I always look back and I'm like, wow, it's crazy how I would just like go here with the least amount of people and now I'm walking in with like 10 other people and like we're all having fun, having a good time. Like we all like end up, I went from sitting at a bar stool to having to sit at a table.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's a very big transition and it's like in a good way, in a positive way.
Okay.
To meet friends.
Yeah.
So in your eyes, and I'd like to hear from you too, what defines a great friendship for you in your eyes?
In my eyes, I feel like a great friendship is the person that you can count on no matter what. Even if you haven't talked in like a year, the person that you know that you can call and be like, oh my God, guess what just happened? Whether it's good, whether it's bad, they'll be their shoulder, like their shoulder will be there for you to cry on, will be there to like support you or like celebrate you no matter what. I feel like friendships don't need the requirement of having to talk every day and text every day and hang out every day and like see each other all the time because that can be a lot. Life gets busy. Even at our age, being 21 and 23, like we're out and about, school, work, meeting with this friend because you made
Everyone's
plans a
got their
month
schedule.
ago. Yeah. So having those friendships where you don't have to attend to them 24/7.
What
Seems
about
like
you, Leticia?
I agree too. I've coming from growing up in Miami and in the middle of high school, middle school, having to transition to a whole nother city. I still to this day am pretty thankful to have friends I can call up still from over there. And I haven't talked to in months, be like, hey, what's up? Like, let's go catch up, let's go hang out or whatever. So I agree with that. No matter what stage in life you're at, everyone has their life going on. You can always depend on someone to, hey, I just need a vent or let's catch up or whatever it is. So I definitely agree with that.
Do you ladies feel like it's been hard to make like quality friendships, like with the way you guys meet people and like just like social media and school or keeping
absolutely
long relationships?
Yeah, I think especially with like social media and stuff, I feel like definitely a little difficult. I know me, I get a little I'm shy naturally, so it does take me a couple times, and I feel like when I also moved to New York, it also kind of helped me to step out of my comfort zone. I'm very used to people approaching me rather than me being the one to approach them and starting the conversation. So definitely, I think just depending on the environment, and I think sometimes we can be in our heads too, making friendships and stuff, and we're thinking too deep into it. And sometimes it's just as simple as like, hey, you look pretty or something. I feel like with girls, it can be as simple as that. And but I think it is a little difficult today as far as kind of navigating those genuine friendships and stuff.
So Leticia, I noticed you said that you moved to New York for a little bit from Florida. What do you think were some of the pros and cons of doing that?
I learned a lot about myself. I had to really embrace being in my own solitude. And that was something I felt like if it wasn't for me moving to New York, I don't think there would have been any other way of me learning that experience and stuff. So I think the pros were really just, learning myself, learning my strengths really, and understanding that I had to live with things I thought I couldn't live without. Having my immediate family with me, that was kind of hard, and I was living with my boyfriend at the time. So, it was also hard making friends outside of that relationship. And the cons were feeling really lonely, having to navigate those friendships and being in a whole completely different city. Yeah. I had no idea. Like learning how to commute alone was not the easiest, know.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because it's interesting that you said you moved in with your boyfriend, and your boyfriend kind of becomes maybe like your world, and it limits you and being able to meet new people.
Yes.
Right. And I know that for a fact because one of my daughters had a couple girlfriends that she was very close to, and as soon as they got boyfriends, she was like, Mom, like I try, but she's like always with her boyfriend, and then eventually that relationship dismantled, And I think that when you're very, very young in serious relationships at a young age, it could be pros and cons, just like you said.
Agreed.
I thank you for sharing that.
Adding to something that you had mentioned, Leticia, you mentioned something about loneliness and that you felt there was times where you felt lonely. And I was surprised to know that there's statistics supporting the fact that the Gen Z generation reports feeling lonely. You're known as the lonely generation. Is that right?
I heard about that. I didn't read that article, but Jalissa, do you feel that way?
Definitely when COVID started. When COVID started, it definitely took over the feeling lonely because you were limited from seeing who you can and who you can't. And like some parents weren't okay with their kids hanging out with the big group of people that you had like friends with. And so then I know I experienced being in a group of 12 people and then it limiting to only 3 people. Because it not only did the parents, not going to say it's their fault, but like drive us away because we couldn't all hang out with one another. But then it also went down to like the friends itself and like, oh, well, they're not reaching out to me. They're not hanging out with me. So like, we're not really friends anymore. And once again, it's like in high school. Right. So not as mature as we are now. But it ended up having 12 friends to only 3 friends.
So you were never able to rekindle those friendships and get back during when COVID kind of fell off?
Not really.
To me, that's wild because
that is.
I can't.
Like, that hurts my soul.
That hurts me because I'd be like, bitch, what you mean?
Yes.
What you mean you ain't talking to me no more, Willis?
But I'm guessing, and you guys, share your input. But I'm guessing, obviously, because there was like that lack of actual contact, physical,
physicalness with each other,
face to face,
and how at some point I'm sure you were like, wow, that's valuable to be able to do that, and it's been taken away. So speaking of the loneliness, I wanted to add this because I was so surprised to hear that the Gen Z generation is known as the lonely generation. And nationally, 79% of Gen Z say they experience loneliness. Globally, 1 in 4 individuals aged 15 to 18 report feeling fairly or very lonely. Young adults are almost twice as likely to report experiencing loneliness compared to older adults. And 63% of young adults experience loneliness, also report significant anxiety or depression symptoms. And it made me sad to hear those statistics.
Well, I'm going to ask you both ladies. I don't know. I mean, you're only 2 out of a huge millions of Gen Z. But do you think, in your opinion, that social media played a part in that?
I do. Yeah. I definitely do. Because social media turned into like this thing where it's like your life is supposed to be about this. It's supposed to look like this. Like these are what you and your friends are supposed to be doing. And like, this is how friendships are supposed to be like. And everyone's different. Like just because you and like your friends go out and do that doesn't mean that me and my friends have to. But then some friends would see that and they're like, oh, like, why are we not doing this? Like, this is getting boring. Like, you're not like this person. You're not like the person that I'm seeing on my screen. And it's just,
wow.
I actually am getting a little emotional because one of my daughters, who's 23, she would be like, Mom, I don't like to go to clubs. I don't like to go to parties. I'm not that girl, but I like art. I like to read books. I don't really like to wear a lot of makeup. I dress a certain way. And she goes, and sometimes it's like, I can't seem to find like my people or the group. And I was like, but even if you don't, because I remember having friends who were super girly and I was like into my hip hop and we still connected. So I was struggling with that.
There was like the rave girls.
There were the rave girls.
The rave girls.
There was the girls who listened to Nirvana.
Not the punks, but the punk rockers. Not the punks, but the punk rockers, right?
But we still like kind of mix. Yeah. And I just felt like, oh, is that not happening?
I think there's like a lack of community in us, like with our generation, kind of like reminding everyone, like, we're all together here. We don't have to compete with each other.
I think that's what social media does to people. I think that makes people
like clicky,
or not clicky, just like Jalissa was saying, like you see them doing this and doing that, and then you're like, well, why aren't me and my friends doing this? Or my friends telling me, why aren't we doing this? But that's just someone putting that out there. This girl could have went bowling with her friend and put pictures up. It looks like a great time. And for all you know, they could have fought the whole time.
And I guess
you don't even know if they really had a good night. It's just that they're posting this picture up of them smiling and looking great. And now everybody has FOMO. Everybody has a fear of missing out. So I feel like there's this disconnect of that in-person relationship building. Even though they're in school and they see each other and they do go out, I feel like the bonding and like the trying to be friends is more online. Liking my photo, liking this. Am I living up to everybody's status? Am I da-da-da-da-da? Because in school, everybody represented themselves in school, not online. So you got what you got, and that's what it was. Now it's like everybody's putting this persona on, and I think that disconnects people because it's like, well, I want that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you're like hyping this thing up that is not reachable because it's majority of it is not that it's fake, but it's it's you're not getting
materialistic.
Exactly. You're not getting the substance of it. Right. And I think that COVID was a very hard time for everyone, but I don't think COVID is what's affecting making the long friendships, because if I got COVID when I was their age, I think we would have been going even more crazy because we would have been able to only talk to like one friend on the phone. We wouldn't be able to like talk to each other on social media or FaceTime or do any of that. You could actually still connect with people. If we got COVID and we were locked down in our age, we would have been like, oh my God, I can only call one friend. Maybe you can do the two-way calling. Remember that you can call like another line. That's it. Like I wouldn't be I'd be able to call like one friend every couple hours and be like, well, why aren't you talking to me? Because I'm talking to so and so. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a way to actually still connect.
Yeah.
But the loneliness, I think that affected everybody. You know what I mean?
But I think
kids more because they have their friends as their lives. Adults are like working and keeping up with the house. Kids have nothing else to do but like be with their friends. And it's like, okay, I don't have that. So the loneliness, I think, was a little different. But let me not keep going. Sorry.
No, don't know. But I'm sorry I interrupted you. No, I just got a thought in my mind. I may be going a little out here, but I think some of the problems, especially with young girls and social media, was the unrealistic beauty standards.
Right.
You know, and then you have all these like, you know, girls that are supposed to look I know what I looked like when I was 15. Like I know what I look like. I had acne, crooked teeth, like, you know, and all this stuff. You have these 15-year-olds with like, they're just so gorgeous. And then you look at that at a young age and it's constant on your phone. You know, the perfect lips, the pretty eyes, the perfect hair, the perfect outfit.
Yeah, but not every single 15-year-old looks like that. That's just what it posted on.
But if that's what you see, it's the perfect picture.
You know what?
Right.
I mean,
You're going to convince yourself, okay, this is what everyone looks like.
Right.
I mean, not for nothing, but it happens to me. Like even when I'm going to post a picture, I mean, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, no.
Totally.
You know never mind. I'm not posting anything. That's so much work. Seriously.
It's true. It's like we could sit here and lie to them and say we don't do it. And sometimes I see a picture and I'm like, I like the way I look in it, but then I'm like, oh, but you know what? Esto, and I don't put it.
Right. And then there's days I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I love how I looked, you know? And it was natural. I didn't do anything. I'm sweating.
But we're dealing with that as an adults.
Right.
As older adults.
For sure.
You know, they're young adults and they're dealing with this, you know, so it's like, that's where I feel like it's like you can't build these real, I mean, not that nobody has, I mean, people have real bonds. It's not like I'm saying they don't have real bonds or this generation doesn't have true friends. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think it's just difficult to find that and keep that because the social media is such a good tool, but it can also like hinder a lot of things, you know?
No, and as we said, I mean, we came to a conclusion, like the Barna Group stat indicates in-person relationships are valued more, but the digital time dominates.
Yeah.
So it's like, as much as we know that it's much more valuable to have the physical connection, you know, we're competing against
The machine
that we are distracted by.
Yeah,
really, it's a distraction. And then instead of like, you want to call it my friend, it's like,
right.
Yeah.
like, does that like,
yeah, I think if it's not like, again, what we were just saying earlier, if someone's not checking in on us, calling us, texting us, you're more than likely not going to hear from them, or the other person's really not going to reach out. It feels, like a one-way kind of street, unfortunately. And then those friendships end up falling apart and we never rekindle. And then it just is what it is. And then you end up just looking at their life on social media, never saying anything to them, just liking your pictures. And but we're supposed to be friends, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of ways to communicate.
Yeah.
Back then, all we did, if we we wanted to talk to a friend, we would call them or beep them.
Yeah, I think the
Now it's
physicality
like,
of
text
it.
me,
Going out of
FaceTime
your
me,
way.
like my photo,
Yeah.
DM me, like, you know.
Exactly. So I have a question. I'm just curious about this. So when someone calls you instead of texting you, how does that make you feel when you're like,
I
Do you
appreciate
get
it
paranoid?
no, I appreciate it so much more.
Yeah, because I'm a voice
anxiety?
message kind of person.
I'm the kind of person that like I'd much rather have a full conversation. Even it's like, hey, how are you doing? How was your week? Whatever. Call me. So like I have that like I can hear your voice. I can hear the tone in your voice. My fingers get tired from
There's times though where yes, if someone does randomly call me, I'm like,
do you have anxiety when they call you?
yes, I'm
And
like,
you're
this is either an emergency or someone's dying, they need me, or
And then you answer, hello.
and they're just like, hey, just wanted to say, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, good. Nothing's going on.
Imagine your phone ringing and you don't know who's calling and you just got to answer.
Sometimes if I especially don't have your number saved, I'm like, does it? I'll listen to my gut. I'm like, should I answer now?
Yeah, I'm gonna send this article that I read that it's like the Gen Z generations are the ones that when they receive an actual phone call from someone that they know, usually they will think exactly what Leticia said. What is an emergency? Because that's the only reason somebody will call me. Because other than that, we'd have a conversation
My
through audio and
daughters
text.
have literally said, Mom, why are you calling your friend? Text her. And I'll be like, I'm just going to call her. And they were like, whatever you're going to say to her, you can text her. Wait.
Oh, how the texts go.
Wait, it gets
and how
better.
do the texts go?
Yeah, we have a question about the text messaging.
And then she goes, don't be a weirdo. And I'm like, is that, you're not supposed to call? And she goes, Mom, just text. And I'm like, hello.
Oh my
Is it me?
And I write,
it's a thing.
I use periods, commas. And she's like, Mom.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
She goes, Mom, what is this? And I was like, it is appropriate grammar.
I use periods and commas.
English grammar.
And don't fucking start with me, bitch, because I know cursive.
If my mom puts a period at the end of the message, I'm like, are you upset? Do we need to talk? Do you want to call me on the phone or
I
something?
even capitalize a letter
I
if it
didn't know
needs it.
this. This is so funny.
If I have time to, be like, I need to fix
I
that.
get it. I think I get like anxiety and like a drop in my heart when I get a text from my mom like, hey.
No explanation.
Or like today, my mom sent me a text and she was like, hey, I have a question. Oh, no. I was like,
Oh God, the way my heart drops.
I'm like, yes. And then it had nothing to do
It's
with
so
me.
fun. I
It
feel
was
like you're my daughter right now.
Oh my goodness.
She'll be like, Mom, you scared the hell out of me. And I was like, she goes, why can't you just say, can you pick up some eggs on the way home? Like, why did you say, hey, I need to talk to you?
My mom does
She
the
was
same
like, just
thing.
say pick up eggs. Mom, I thought something happened. And I was like, something did happen. There were no eggs.
Remember we were talking about how they text like, hi.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Send. Can you talk? Send. I need you to do this for me. Send.
Oh, the multiple messages. Yes, I can't just put everything in one message. It's too many thoughts. It's like, okay, I have to say this, say this, say this. And
I prepare the message. Like I even make paragraphs. Like, okay, I'm going to talk about this and space those words out
you know,
to the next
instead of
paragraph.
putting everything in
What are you
one.
talking about? You just triple texted me today.
Did I? No, I didn't.
No.
Oh my
I'm
God,
in the
I'm going to use
office.
that. I'm going to use that.
You ready for today?
Oh, no,
Well, 'cause I was working.
Share. I need to see what.
I love this. The triple texting. Babies.
Throw her under
You're
the
known
bus.
as the
I triple text you.
the triple.
Yeah, but check some other messages. I don't. Oh wait. But that's okay. I didn't say, hey.
Oh, they're all mini paragraphs.
Me, I sent you 3 full like they're not
Okay,
many.
well, I don't always do that. Okay, I didn't say that I always do it in
Monica's
paragraphs.
the double booker, and Davies is the
Triple texter.
Triple texter, double booker.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
This so much.
Jalissa used to always grammatically correct me when I would text her.
Yeah,
All
I
the
always do
time.
that to
She's
people.
Oh, I do that to Adriana.
I'm like, but you don't even text in full sentences.
in full complete font.
You don't need to say G M. You need to say good morning. Yes. Oh my God, I love it.
So it's impossible to just send a full paragraph.
No, I always.
I know it's true because I was on the phone with someone and it was like my daughter was texting me from school and I kid you not, it was ding, 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 ding. And I was like, that's my daughter. And it was, Mom, oh my God, I have to tell you something.
Same thing.
can you believe? And it was like, and I was like, are you insane? But yes, thank you for confirming that your generation is very strange with text messaging.
But going back to like talking on the phone, like I do feel like our generation does lack a little bit of that. They're always big texters and like
Yes.
everything. Arguments, trying to figure out plans, everything. It's
Taking
all
things out of
through-
context with
Yes.
messages. Yeah.
And it's like the argument portion over text. You can't tell their tone. You
Yep.
can't tell what they really mean or how they really mean it. And I feel like that's why a lot of friendships end
Yeah.
because of the miscommunication and like, you know, the line, it's like so far off
Yeah. Yeah.
from like the way. Like
Yeah.
you
Taking
could be
it
like-
out of context.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I could be like in the message, like, are you okay? And you could read it like, are you okay?
Yeah.
It's true. It's so true.
Like you're delusional.
I am delusional. Listen, I know you're right because I'm going to tell you something. I wrote a text message that I was going to send to someone, and I was like, who can I call to confirm? It was your mom. So I called Mo, and I'm like, Mo, I'm going to send you a text. Read it. Tell me what you think. She was like, bitch, you sound mad. And I was like, no, I don't. So she goes, read it out loud. And she was like, Jasmine, the way you're reading it does not sound at all the way I'm receiving it.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned, okay, you have to be very careful with text messaging.
Yeah.
You always got to use a little emoji at the end.
I even use it at
Being a little
work.
passive.
That's what I like to do too, is use a little emojis.
LOL.
Me too.
Yes,
You do use emojis. You do.
I do because I'm like, I don't want this to go a whole other way.
Right. Well, first they're cute, so I like to use them because they're cute. But then I add them to make sure they know this is a fun text. Like, I even use it at work.
No, what you're saying? I'm coming from a happy place.
Yes. And a heart. Always add the heart. Now, all love.
What color heart though?
Red.
The color hearts though mean something.
I like the bright red one.
Wait, everybody,
Hold on.
hold on.
What?
Let's scale this back. What do you mean?
The colors of the heart have a meaning.
Yes.
Okay, nobody me on.
There's
Jessica,
meaning.
quiet. Everyone
Just
quiet.
when I thought I knew everything.
Teach us your ways.
These are secrets.
Like the red heart is typically what you would use like when you're like either super close with someone
Yeah.
as a friend, like I love you, like with a significant other, like your family.
Okay.
Who have I been using the red heart? Who have I been using the red heart on?
I use the red one for everything. The bright red. I don't like that.
And then you have
dim one.
the white heart.
Yes, it's like
The
more
talking stage.
Yeah, like a friendlier
Yeah,
kind of like
you're just getting
vibe.
to know the person. Like
A
even
white heart means what?
I didn't even know there was a white heart.
I didn't know there was
It's
a
I
white heart.
used it.
It's like a soft like I love you. You know, like
Yeah.
I care
like
about
a little
you, but
like
I'm
that,
not,
Like,
you know,
don't
love
like
you.
a little
Don't take it there, right?
Yeah, like
Don't take it there, but I love you.
like a friend zone kind of.
Yes.
way.
No, that's
Yes.
not how I took it. It's like, I like you, pero, you know, let's... Pero,
yeah, like friend zone.
The Gen Xers can make their own interpretation.
Like a friend zone.
so what are the
so-
colors?
now there's blue. What does the blue one mean?
Blue, I think
Blue
it's just
is
like
just-
yeah. The other colors are more like friendlier, like whatever,
Yeah, like just to express.
I use the heart honestly to match the emojis that I'm sending. That's what I do. So if you next time pay attention when I text you, like if I'm throwing like, Christmas one, I'm going to throw red and green and white. And
You're so cute, Debbie.
seriously, it's the
So wait a
decorator
minute.
in me.
So there's only...
say that. I love thinking the same thing.
We're talking over each other, guys.
We're
So
having fun.
So if I understand correctly, there's basically two colors that we really have to worry about, and that's
Yes.
red and white.
yeah.
And the other colors are just taste the rainbow.
Yeah, like more passive. Everyone can have this heart.
So let me ask you a question. So like if you, someone's texting you and they've been texting you a white heart for a while and all of a sudden they send you a red heart. Is that like,
That's like oh, we're
She
moving
said
to
run.
that next level.
so I mean, it really means something. All right.
Yeah, that's like okay, we're moving to the next stage here. All right.
If I'm getting a white to a red,
I'm so excited.
I love that I have a Gen Zer in my home.
I really learned a lot today.
Seriously, makes me want to ask my oldest in a
I think we
secret
have
way.
like different generations in our house.
Yes.
Jessica,
No,
yeah.
we do. We have 3 generations. We have like we have the Gen X, we have the Gen Z. Oh no, we have the millennial, and we have the Gen Z. I was thinking about that too.
And then,
today.
and then like the kids.
And the
what
kids-
are they?
oh my
Alpha?
God. You know what?
Alpha beta?
Yeah. Is that the new one?
I think.
Oh,
Alpha beta?
I can't keep track.
I can't keep track.
Delta Phi Tri.
I did a little research on your children's because your babies are 3.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they're called, but I think she's correct. Alpha,
yeah,
beta.
yeah.
They said that generation will be the generation that lives way past 100 years old because of all the medical technology and advancements on health. So they're going to be living possibly up to 120 to 125 years old. And they'll be the first generation who never learn how to drive a car.
What? Get out of
George Jetson.
That by the time they
Are we going to have like flying cars now?
Do you?
I did a little research on that.
Wow.
They
I'm
gonna
won't
look
even
into
know,
that.
They don't know. They won't know how to drive a car.
I believe it because everything is electric now. They're pushing to electric.
They have self-driving cars. Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, I used to drive a car back in
We're gonna be the new millennials.
I had a driver's license.
Listen, I don't care how old you are. There will always be a point when someone will say, back in my day, as you get older, you will say it.
Spotify.
Oh my god.
Watch, it's gonna happen.
Wow.
But no, that's a beautiful thing. Oh, you girls are so freaking cute. So if you don't mind me asking, and no one here is going to get offended. I think we just really want to learn because we're like having fun. But what's something about millennials and Gen X that you guys think is like just so weird about us?
Question.
I want to know. Like,
Let it out the bag.
Yeah, we won't be offended.
we won't. We won't.
I think, I say this because, again, one of my closest friends, Katrina, she's very close to me and she's, millennial.
Is she going to be okay with you saying her name?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Promoting Heavenly Foot Massage and Spa.
She's real okay.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes with her, it's a bit humorous because I know with like the millennials and stuff, you guys are still kind of maneuvering social media and how you guys like, take your little pictures and stuff. The way they pose, the millennial like poses like this.
The selfie
and stuff.
stick. The selfie stick.
The selfie stick, like, yeah, exactly, literally that. Little things like that, you guys are like maneuvering yourselves and are kind of like I'm squirming.
Oh my gosh. It's a thing.
So it's humorous. It's humorous to like see those little things. And then I make jokes to her about it. I'm like, oh, you're so like millennial, or like little text messages, how you guys, like talk over messages and stuff and your little emojis. It's little funny things like that. I think it's more humorous than like, any.
Well, at least it's humorous.
This is why we always ask the younger generation to take our pictures.
Yeah, it's true.
Whenever we're out, I'm like, can you take a
The
picture?
pictures today that I see, like girls are age take. I'm like, yo, what cameras is this the same iPhone that we're all buying or something?
right.
Yeah, they're taking.
I'm so used to like the wrist camera digital that my mom would like take pictures of me on, like in New York City next to a cop car, just smiling in my bundled up
So,
sweater.
Jalissa, what's something you think that we can learn? Well, what is it that you think about our generation and also millennials that's different that you're like, oh, wow.
I don't understand how you guys can't get on technology fast enough.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You guys are still like maneuvering, like how to sometimes even like work the iPhones. It's
Very true. It's true.
All right.
It's true.
To my defense, we played Atari, and the game was called Pong, right? Was it Pong? And it was literally a ball that just went back and forth, and we were like, bing, bing.
Yes, I know what you're talking
That's
about.
how we grew up.
Hey, listen, we had the first computers. We had the first iMacs.
Okay, so that's
you guys
my
are
thing.
still-
You think you would go? You had the first
I'm
computer.
very proud of that.
And you guys are
I'm proud with you.
progressing with the computers. So why does it take you longer?
Okay, I'm going to answer that. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for. I think it moves way too fast. It's moving so fast that I can't keep up with it because I'm also, I'm an older lady. So I just feel like it's just so fast. And then by the time I learned how to use it, they're already like
a new device going.
then another thing is a new thing, and I'm like, but I just learned how to do this.
Like, oh no. It's
And
the
I'm
software.
like, what is happening?
It's like another iPhone.
I think I'm pretty good. I don't know.
I don't think I'm that bad.
But you know what? We got a podcast.
Let me put my phone on.
So we can't be that bad.
I think I had to teach I don't know, like abuelita the other day how to put her phone on. Do
Oh,
not
but those
disturb.
were the
That
boomers.
just happened right here.
Those are the boomers.
But we're not abuelita.
Right. That's
No. I know.
We have a lot of grace for the baby boomers. Because we're
Did
the
she
ones
just say we have to teach abuelita?
Right.
Hold up.
Listen.
I said, well, we're not abuelita.
Hold up.
But like, you know, like little things like that. You know, they have, I think Apple has like classes now where you can actually go and they'll teach you how to use your iPhone
Yeah, they've
and
had
your,
that for a while.
your MacBook. But I just feel like you guys are still like maneuvering.
You guys grew up with technology.
Yeah, that is it.
In your crib. Okay. The phone was in your crib. Okay.
Yeah.
So
No, but it's good. I'm glad that they're telling us
no,
this.
I am. I'm just thinking to the fact that we have a life
offended.
where
Yeah. We had Etch-a-Sketch.
because I don't ask a lot of. Do I
Well,
ask
I'm going to tell you
I don't
the
ever ask
picture
for help.
thing. My daughters told me that years ago, and they were like, "Mom, please don't take pictures like that. That is so embarrassing."
Take pictures like what?
Okay, I don't do that no more, but I'm guilty.
Yeah, what's
of
the
it.
proper? So what's the proper way?
Because you know, like they like
Facebook mom
because
pose.
It's the selfie. It's like the selfie pose, you know.
So then, how do you do it?
we're not supposed to do that.
no selfie at all.
No, I don't know. It's
oh, you don't do
yeah, you know-
selfies. Okay.
I think I go like
selfies. Yeah, we do selfies.
I don't think I don't.
it's
I
the
think
high
we
arm?
can't do selfies.
Yeah, it's like
anymore.
I don't think I do that, Jalissa. Do I
With the
do
little
that?
duck
kissy
lip,
face,
like
duck
duck
lip.
lips.
Have you seen me do that?
I've done that. I've done, but it's for lighting.
You know what we call that? You know what
As
we
if
call
the
that?
light is in my face.
It's
the only
because
pose I
everything
know.
is okay. You know what? Everything's fucking falling down. So when we do this, we look better.
What do you say it's called, Jalissa? You said that's called.
We call it the Facebook mom pose.
That's exactly what it is. Catch me outside. How about that? We need to step outside.
Well, at least they didn't say my face.
It's giving Facebook.
Let me take out
vibes.
these Bengal earrings right now.
Yo, I'm ready to.
Let me take my hoop earrings.
get the Vaseline.
I was gonna when she said hoop earrings, I was gonna go, where's the Vaseline? I'm even getting
embarrassed.
hot.
Bro, la menopausia kicked in. The menopause.
Oh, that is so funny.
What did they say?
Hold me back.
We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we
She
don't
tried
judge.
that on me the other day. I was like, wait, what? Hold on a second. I am definitely judging over here.
No, that's new.
I know.
We listen and we don't judge. And I'm like, no, but we asked them. We asked them to be
did.
honest with us.
No,
I'm sorry, but my face is going to judge you all day. I can't control my facial expression.
No,
No,
you
when
can't.
I said that when I said that to my mom, we were sitting at the bar and I was like, all right, mom, I got to talk to you about something, but we listen and we don't judge. She's like, get out of here. I'll listen, but I'm judging. And I'm like, no, we listen and
yeah,
we
we
don't
can't
judge.
promise that.
But yeah.
I honestly just take the picture, whatever angle
She's
works.
throwing the picture.
Yeah, really. Because I don't always put my arm up, but if we're taking like a group picture, then yeah. Like, what about
I think
the group
just
picture?
like
You're trying to squeeze everybody in.
The focus of even like the quality of like the actual photo is like insane.
Isn't it weird that sometimes when like older people like or people not in our generation try
we set ourselves up.
let me restart that.
We
What
did.
do we call you guys?
Be real. Say.
millennials?
All right.
you ladies.
Isn't it weird how when Gen Xers take their photos compared to Gen Z, the quality is so different, but they're using the same phone?
Yes. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Are you talking about filters?
No, I'm not talking about
no,
filters.
it's like the actual. I don't know
Because once in a while I do
maybe
use the filter
maybe the
here
phone
there.
just knows.
It's the phone. The phone has
No,
like
it's
lighting
user error.
and stuff that you
User
can
error.
control and set it up.
What are you talking about?
It does, but I've never done it. And she's always like, "Why didn't you do that?"
No, and people are like using like legit cameras, like you know.
The Canon GX7.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I can't just take a picture on my iPhone I paid $1,000.
I have to pay another $300, $400
for just a separate camera to take some good pictures.
Yep.
Jesus.
I'm just baffled.
I'm baffled. So if I'm understanding you correctly, Jalissa, is what you're saying is my phone knows I'm old as fuck, so it's automatically gonna make use like certain types
your
of settings.
phone has your birthday in there.
Oh, yeah, true.
This bitch is gonna get a Let's go.
Siri, you better fix that shit.
Oh my God.
You're going to set my settings before you leave tonight on my phone. You're going to check my camera.
Is my phone lying to me? When I take a picture, that's not what I really know.
No, it's just listening to you.
Well,
No.
so, okay, going back to we were talking about this topic about friendships. So when it comes to friendships, let's dive in a little deeper. How do you guys navigate with perhaps friendships that are toxic or have drama in it? Or perhaps have you experienced like
Oh, yes.
cancel culture or even envy or
Oh,
betrayal?
that's a good one. Cancel culture.
How have you navigated through like betrayal or even envy?
Going back to like what you said in your introduction, Leticia, the sensitivity now in our generation is just so big. Like I felt like, especially graduating high school when all my friends like left to go to universities, like either out of state or out of the county, I was going to, school locally next to me. And it was just harder to like try and make those friendships because it's like, I don't know, can I really be myself? Can I like joke around, or are my jokes going to be like too much for them, or are they going to be too little?
You don't know
for
if
them?
it's the same community
Exactly.
you can build with.
And social media plays such a big part in that because social media created like this division between non-sensitive people and created sensitive people. Because I felt like going through high school before COVID, like everyone would joke around, everyone would, say things like, "Oh, your shoes are so dirty," and like
was
now I feel
never
like
personal,
if I told someone as a joke like, "Oh man, be quiet, your shoes are dirty," they'd be like, "I didn't have time to clean it today. I'm so sorry."
It's the sensitivity I think is
Hyper.
it is definitely. And then social media along feeding with it and creating like I think scenarios, for people that it's not realistic, it's not, the world that's perceived on social media is never the exact reality, the world that we are really living in. So I think that kind of contradicts how like friendships are maneuvered today. So
And how do you then have you found any tactics or ways to navigate, especially because that creates, I'm sure, like, I don't know, like that. I know for me, for your generation, honestly, like mental health for me is a concern for you guys. So how does that, because that's all intertwined, because you're saying things like, sensitivity and things that you see and that's not real. So how have you navigated through that?
Honestly, it's just kind of like depends on the situation. Again, I've been kind of fortunate to be able to have friends in different, like industries. Some are in the fashion, some are doing the modeling, some are doing the clothing or whatever. So I've been able to see different relationships. And I think now, like as you grow older, you start to kind of like a group people, okay, these are my friends that I go out with and I do this with. These are my friends that I work with and I do these type of things with. So I think just really like you got to feel, it's like a vibe thing, you got to feel people's vibe. You got to see, what are they, how are they moving? How are they carrying themselves and stuff like that. It's really like a vibe test. I feel like you're just like testing everyone's vibe.
Their energy.
So things like that. And again, energies change all the time. We could be cool today and I could have a bad day and we're not cool tomorrow, so it's things like that. And people are taking that really personal, really personal. Like, we're all human. I have bad days. That doesn't mean you're any less of my friend.
Yeah, I
But
think
people-
it's the lack of grace. People don't give people enough grace.
The empathy, the sympathy towards people now is
And the lack of communication is a very, very big thing, especially when you have like a little tiff in a friendship. And, it's kind of that thing where it's like, it can be something so little, but it gets portrayed as so big.
and then no one steps up to bring it to light. It's just like
and then it becomes very toxic. And
So do you find it that it's hard to face like conflict resolution? Like, is it hard? But is it hard because you're not around each other too much and everything is through the phone and stuff?
and then things get taken out of context and we're not reading people the way they want to be perceived. So it's
a lot of people also like when I've always gone through like life having like groups of friends, and when you have a group of like friends and there's two people in that group and they're having a tiff, it can be like one or the other going and like speaking to everyone else but the actual person, and words get
has their
misconstrued.
stories and
Yes.
sides and stuff.
Yeah,
so
it gets, you know,
messy.
she or he could be saying it in a way like that I didn't even mean it. So then that person is going to be like, oh, wow, that was kind of like really rude, but like I wasn't saying it in a rude way, or like I didn't even say that. And now they're putting words into my mouth. And that also brings in like betrayal. And it's like, are they trying to get me pushed out of our group of friends because they don't want me in it anymore? Yeah.
Or you feel like, oh my God, I just got kicked out of the group text.
Yeah.
Like they could take you out.
But personally, me, I feel like going through all the friendships, like ups and downs throughout like elementary all the way through high school, now I'm at a point where it's like, if it's so easy for you to just say goodbye and not have a simple conversation with me, then like, why am I gonna really like put myself down and like lose sleep at night over a friend that doesn't really want to be my friend?
So if I'm understanding, it's like it seems like your generation has a big problem with confrontation.
Absolutely.
That's because when I grew up, like if you had a problem, you went up straight up to that person's face and be like, "Yo, you got a problem with me?" Like honestly,
But now on
like, that's
social
how it
media,
was.
we can go behind a screen and we
That's
can
right.
talk shit about someone.
Right. You
and
can be
we
a lot tougher.
See, but going up to
interesting.
someone and saying, "Oh, do you have a problem with me?" I don't navigate my friendships like that.
Right.
If someone does have a problem with me and it's causing a conflict in our friendship, I'm giving you space to like cool down, think about like whatever, and also to reflect on like what I did, what I possibly said, try and think of everything. But I never want to be the person to go up to that person and being like, "Oh, what's the problem?" Because then one, it can be looked at as like I'm attacking, or it can be looked at as like I'm assuming, and we all know assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, but I'm going to take it a deep further. I think that's a bit of a problem though, because now when you grow up, you got to fix things and you got to confront things in the workplace.
Oh, absolutely.
So here's what I'm going to say. Gen Z gets a bad rap in the workplace. And that's why a lot of Gen Z people, like people that are like,
I've heard that.
they don't want to hire you. They don't. And a lot of people don't hire you because I think it's unfair. They say that you're lazy. I don't think that you're lazy. I think you have a problem with speaking straight up.
Yeah.
Like let's say me and Monica were working together and she did something wrong or she didn't do it the way I wanted her to do it. I would go up to her and I'd be like, "Mo, listen, you fucked up." I mean, I may not say I may not say it like that, but I'd be like, "Monica, no, like you need to do this all over again because this was wrong," or blah, 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 blah. Like you have to say it the way it is. And I noticed by the little bit that you both shared, it's the cultural thing where you have been taught to like not be confrontational, not to hurt someone's feelings. But guess what? Like that's a part of life.
But I think also has a, go ahead, Leticia.
I think that has to do with a lot of our upbringing and sometimes like in our culture too. I feel like I talk about this with my other friends and stuff, and we're all Hispanic. I feel like in Hispanic culture, we're like kind of raised to, don't talk back to, your grandparents, don't talk back to your mom, like shut your mouth, eat your food, don't, so I feel like someone's upbringing is what also affects how they maneuver work relationships, friend relationships, school relationships. So little things like that. I feel like everyone is different in that way, but our generation is really like suffering with
Communicating.
I think it's the communication and sensitivity.
But I think it has to do with social media, like not like having a lot of relationships coming through and texting and not actually
talking.
It does. I do, but I do have my daughter growing up, Jalissa growing up in school. She's a very headstrong person. Like she likes, it's her way and she makes her friends. And in life, you don't get along with everyone, and that's okay. You don't have to be friends with everyone. And it was a big thing in elementary school that she would get in trouble because I was always getting called because let's say me and Jessica were friends, and let's say Leticia wants to come and be my friend, but I don't connect with her, and I just say, I don't want to be your friend. Or I don't want to sit next to you. It was always, I don't want to sit with you. I want to sit with so-and-so. And she would be considered a bully by the teachers. No, you have to be everyone's friend. And I would constantly get called for stuff like that. Yes, it was all the time. And I would ask, like, well, was she mean? No. Did she call them names? No. Did she do it? No. So how is she a bully? Well, she just doesn't. She said she didn't want to be their friend. And I said, well, guess what? That's life.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was
And
happening.
they have to grow up and learn that, life, that's life.
And that's how
you're not going to be friends with everyone.
And that's how you select friends.
Right. That's why I'm saying everybody's so sensitive. It's like she said, you don't want to confront front. You don't want to say this because then she's going to say, well, this, why are you hurting it's like you're worried about hurting somebody's feelings. You can't just be real with someone and tell them how you're really feeling.
I know that's true because there's been times where my daughters would have, problems or issues with someone. I'd be like, just pick up the phone and call her and ask her if she said that. And she'd be like, nah, I can't do that. And I would be like, you're so weird. Like, pick up the phone, call her and be like, yo, I heard you said this about me. Is it true? Yeah. And like, what? Like, squash it. You just squash it.
My daughter had a similar situation where it was like a couple of group friends talking. And then she was like, well, she told me this, that she said that. And I said, well, why girl A told me that girl C said this. I go, so did you talk to girl C? No. Why don't you call her? She's like, what do you mean call her? I go, pick up the phone and call her and say, hey, I heard you said this about me and find out if it's true. No. Friend A said she's going to take care of it and she's going to talk to friend B and C and E. And I'm like, no, you need to handle your own shit.
Business.
I didn't tell her shit because she's younger.
No,
she's 13. But I'm like, no, you need to go out there and you need to find out for yourself. You can't trust every.
I would go up to her face and I'd be like, yo, I heard you said this. And she'd be like, yeah, I said it, but not like that. Well, how did you say it? I said it like this. And then I'd be like, oh, because I took it. No, of course not. I didn't mean it like that. Okay, squashed.
But I do agree with something that Jalissa said, and I don't know if that's what you were also trying to say, is that it is the approach. It is how you come up to that person. You're not just going to come up to a person and be like, yo, what's your problem?
Jessica.
Yeah, I don't think it should be aggressive.
We did that when we were, I know you since we were little.
No,
we did that all the time. We confronted people if we heard
but what I mean
but maybe it wasn't the right way.
Right.
We confronted and you should, yes.
It's the tone because it's the delivery. It's the delivery, which, let's be honest, like, that's what happens. Like, if somebody comes up to me like, you're like,
right. But when I told my daughter, I didn't tell her to come strong. I sounded strong right now, but it was the fact of just find out for yourself.
Right.
Right.
But then again, it's also like I said, it was like if I had a tiff with someone, but they were the one that had a problem with me, it's at the end of the day, shouldn't they be the one like addressing the problem?
I think it starts becoming everyone else's problem too, because one person tells another person this, and then that person goes.
But like between the two people, if
it should always be
communicating though. Like I feel like, Mom, like if I'm mad at you, like I'm the one that has a problem with you, and I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that we had this conversation. It's never like, how do you feel? Like you're never the one approaching me. I'm like, I'm mad at you because of this. I feel like with friendships, it's the person that's mad at the other person first, or the person that has a problem with the other person should be the one addressing the situation.
Yeah,
but I feel like there's always a need for a middleman.
No, and I'm going to tell you
expectation.
I think it depends on how much you care about that person. Because if you really love that person and you care about that person, you care enough to find out what's up with their feelings. Like, what's wrong? I feel like you think I did something wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I love you and I care about you. So what is it? Because sometimes I think it's not even you. Sometimes people are going through things and they project their anger when it's not even really about you. It's just that one thing that happened between you maybe set them off because they're in a pissed off mood about something else.
I'm going to tell you right now because I'm getting close to 50 and I've lived almost more than double. But don't ever think like that, because if your feelings are valid. So it doesn't matter if it's you feel like, well, no, she's the one that should tell me. No, if it's bothering you and you're thinking about it, you can definitely do something about it too. And you don't have to be aggressive. Of course not. I'm not, the way I talk, I come across that way. But if you care about that person and you care about that friendship, there's no rules. You just, if that person means a lot to you and it's bothering you, send a text. Or do an audio text or do something crazy like go to her house and knock on the door.
What were you going to say?
That's what we used to do back in the day.
You were going to say something.
Oh, no. I was that was like a good agreeing.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like these are the things that we can maybe teach you that's old school, but it's effective.
Well, one thing that always stuck with me that my mom always told me was you're not gonna, all these friends that you have in high school, you're only going to graduate and still be friends with a select of them.
Yes, that's true. I think for any generation.
Yeah. I went into high school and I made so many different groups of friends. Now I only talk to 2 people from high school. Mm-hmm. I'm only friends with and communicate with like regularly with 2 people from high school. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy because I look back and I was like, oh, I was a part of this friend group. I was a part of that friend group. I had all these friends.
And that was your world.
And that was my world. Yeah. And then now I don't even know how half these people are doing unless I see it online.
But you're not alone. alone. That's very normal.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's universal.
It is universal in every generation.
But I was always jealous of the fact that, you know, like my mom graduated with what I think your group is like 4, 5.
Yeah, we're 5.
Yeah. And you guys have been friends for how many years?
Well, some of us since middle school, but most of us from high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I graduated with 2 friends. So I was like, it would have been nice to graduate with like 4 or 5 people and still be friends. Like I know a lot of people that graduated and have like their friend groups and they're still friends. And I'm like, and the 2 friends that I graduated with, they're not even friends themselves. You know what I mean? Like it's 2 separate people.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's just different. I feel like friendships are definitely harder.
It's different the way you communicate, and that's what I've learned from this podcast. I've learned a lot of things, a lot of fun things. So thank you for sharing. But it's mostly like how difficult it really is to communicate with your own peers and like how things can be taken out of context or things can be misinterpreted because no one wants to confront and they don't want to come across as aggressive. So the learning lesson in that is like you're probably going to save yourself a lot of heartache if you just talk to the person and confront them in a gentle way or the way that makes you feel the most comfortable, and you'd be surprised how quickly you're going to solve it and how it's going to be like water under the bridge. So I hope that could be a takeaway that we can give you. Yeah. And I promise you I won't take pictures like this anymore.
Facebook mom post.
Have that pinned to us now.
It's gonna go to sleep with nightmares.
Facebook mom.
Do you miss any of the friends that you don't have? Or like, does anybody particularly stand out to you that you're like, man, what happened there?
Oh yeah, definitely for me. Growing up in like Miami, and I grew up in a big community too. Like kids from my neighborhood, we were all close. I was an outside kid.
Yeah.
One of the, I grew up thankfully for a good portion of my childhood before technology became big. I was an outside kid. I was going outside. My mom said, "Be back before the sun goes down." So I definitely like sometimes look back because I go back to Miami Lakes every now and then, and I go back to like my
grounds.
Exactly, and I'm like, damn, like I was walking down these streets when I was a kid, and now everyone's kind of doing their own thing, I think that's like the bittersweetness of adulthood. You're like, oh wow, I've really evolved, from being a little kid growing up here, and now everyone's doing their own thing, and this person doing this, and I'm here, and then this person moved all the way over here. So I think that's like a bittersweet kind of like missing.
Yeah. I like that you use that word bittersweet because it is bittersweet.
Yeah.
It truly is. Like I have fond memories of friendships that I don't have anymore that I hold dear to my heart, but it's a part of life.
Yeah.
You evolve, you grow, and you become different people. But you always if you hold the good memories and you think back on that person in a positive way and not a negative way.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's like a big thing too with our generation. Trying to keep that like positivity within like our mental, and like so many, we feed off a lot of the social media and like some of the things is not so positive or whatever. But I think, keeping that community of that positivity and still feeding in the, the good things in life we can.
Well, I know your generation does have one beautiful thing that I envy. And I mean this. It's like you guys are very self-aware of how you impact other people's feelings. I think Gen Z is really like empathetic to that.
I have actually.
My generation was not. My generation was cutthroat. It was like
I have empath tattooed actually.
Oh,
behind my neck here.
That's pretty. And my generation did not. We grew up tough, in your face. Like, what did you mean by that? Like,
well, because we were first generations of immigrant parents. They were on survival
tough
mode,
on us.
and we all.
That's what I was saying earlier about like the growing up, like having that Hispanic culture is.
It's true. I grew up like that. Abuelito.
Yeah.
Abuelito is like. You don't. Los adultos están hablando.
Yeah.
So you don't talk back. That's how I grew up. It makes you tough.
It makes you tough. I noticed that. Like I think sometimes I come because my daughters will say to me, "Mom, like why are you so like
direct?"
No, not well. Yes, it is direct.
In
but
your face.
Why you say it like that? Why you gotta be so tough? Like why you gotta be so And I'll be like, and I don't even realize I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's just
it's growing up.
We grew up. I don't know about you, Davies, but I think just you, me.
Yeah.
You guys are from you guys met in New York, no?
Yeah. Well,
we met
here, but I'm from Brooklyn.
She's the same thing, Ecuadorian, Colombian.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I grew up really rough, and I I grew up in Bushwick, and I grew up with a bunch of I was 12 years old and I got beat up by 3 girls.
Oh my God.
I got jumped. I've been jumped like 4 times in my life, and I'm still here, bitch. I'm still here, Jeanette and Yvette. I ain't going nowhere.
That's a confrontation.
Just in case you listening to my podcast,
That's her confrontation technique.
what you got to say now?
No, but that is true about the Gen Zers is that they're very, what you were saying, Jay. It's true. I totally agree with that because I live with a Gen Zer and I think that's really beautiful because it's like that's definitely there is a commonality in that type of awareness that
Awareness.
Yeah, you're very aware. You're reading the room, the vibe, the energy. That's a beautiful thing, and
It's admirable.
it is. We're like the Gen Xers, like, all right, we got to get shit done. How does it get done? All right, what?
Very
We're
black and white.
Yes,
Yes.
we're
I think
black
it's
and
very-
white.
No, Jessica will be like, all right, we have roles.
Oh,
I know.
You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And we're all like,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
definitely how we grew up. But I love it. I love
think
that you beautiful ladies are very sensitive. But it's okay to be confrontational with certain things. You have to, because if you don't, then there's a lot of assumptions.
Well,
Right.
I was gonna say, like,
Key.
my mom raised me to be very confrontational, and I feel like, as she said, like in elementary school, I was always labeled as like the bully, but it was just
Wow.
more putting my foot down.
Yeah.
And if I didn't
Yeah,
feel
you
comfortable with
stood up for
something, or if
yourself.
I didn't like something,
But even the
I was-
teachers were saying she was a bully. That's shocking.
Wow.
I was
Yeah.
just I spoke what I thought, and I never like held back, and it's
especially for a girl too. We're you gotta be. I feel like growing up as a girl, we're delicate and we cry and
Proper
stuff.
and-
Yeah, and soft
Can't
and
break a
stuff.
nail.
So exactly.
That's so
Well,
sweet.
I grew up sports. I was playing soccer. I was always outside. A lot of my
always
guy friends. I was closer with guys.
Yes.
So yeah,
True.
exactly.
Very true. Very true. That's Leticia too.
Yeah. So I was.
And that's another thing that's like hard for me for friends. I always found myself finding it a hard time to make girlfriends rather than guy
Yes.
friends.
So why is that?
Yes.
I've always been curious about that with people who gravitate more to males than.
I think it's because like I have 2 older brothers. I have a lot of boy cousins. I was always surrounded by guys, and getting into sports. It's as a girl, when you play sports, it kind of labels
kinda
you as a
goes hand in
tomboy,
hand.
and
She's one of the bros.
yeah, she's one of the bros. And especially when you're not doing like sports that are like the delicate,
Yes.
like girl sports,
Yes, like
dance
volleyball or
and volleyball, and
Yeah.
I grew up like that. I was mostly male. You
got
ladies are my
Yeah.
like only female friends that I have. Really.
Yeah. And you got brothers.
I grew up with all.
You were the only
male
girl.
friends.
And I feel like too, it's a little, sensitive saying this, with girls. I feel like it's harder because there's always always from the opposite party, of course, this sense of like competition, who's prettier than who, like who's got the better outfit than whose hair is better,
who can get this guy's attention first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good one.
Whose picture looks better than this
Yeah.
one, and it's things like that. I feel
Whose
like
makeup routine is better? Whose skincare regimen?
And
There
it's
you
so
go.
much.
It's always a competition. There's always something.
yes,
Yeah,
with
we didn't
guys,
have that problem. We just knew Jessica was the pretty one.
She was the pretty one. She had the car.
She had the car. She was the pretty one. I was the funny one.
I look at pictures of Jessica. I'm like, damn.
What are you talking about? I look at her now and I'm like, damn.
Can you imagine like being 15 and 16 and Jessica's your friend and you're like, bum. I got jokes. You had to survive.
No, and when we were out, we always rolled deep. We were in a group. Like people would think we're in a gang.
Damn.
People wouldn't even fuck with us. I think seriously, like we really didn't get into any fights or anything.
And I'd
There
be
was
like-
one, but like
I've already been
I think
beat up.
now-
Like, I don't care. I don't care. You can't hurt me.
But I think that's how it was. Like everybody, like when I went out, it was always in big groups.
Yes.
I feel like now when we go out, maybe it's like with one other girl. You feel me?
Okay.
Like one or
Look at
two other
that.
girls. I feel like it's a lot smaller,
Yeah.
you know? And then when you go out, you're fortunate enough to meet those friendly people. And then, you know, everyone starts being a group. But initially when I go out, it's like, okay, I'm just, you know, I'm going to hit up my one girlfriend.
Do you prefer to be with a smaller group than to have to like, oof, that would be intimidating to roll with a big group, or that like, that's not even an option? Like,
I mean,
I think
I'm with my
I prefer a bigger group because, you know, there's more people,
Yeah.
you know, and it's more familiar.
too. Yeah.
You know, you're
I was gonna
familiar
say,
with.
like now I'm rolling into the line dancing place with like
14
that feels good, you know, feels good with us
cowgirls.
I think everyone, you know, initially wants to like, you know, go in, roll in with their people, a nice big
Right.
group and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like now I go out or I see a lot of girls, they just have like, you know, their one girlfriend right next to them.
But I was gonna say, like right now, like in this moment in time, I've had the most girlfriends I've ever had, like ever. And
Do the line dancing? You
through
met
line
them?
dancing and now through school. Like I made two friends through school, and it can be very intimidating, you know. But now I'm like, I look back at it and I'm like, you know, these friendships are like really good. They're super healthy.
That's
like
right.
I like, even though I may not have known them for the longest, it's weird how you can feel that like
Community, yeah, the
connection.
community with people.
But it's like you've known them for 10 years. Like I feel closer with them than then I can feel closer with someone that I've been friends with for like 10
honey,
years.
absolutely. I had a job
beautiful.
that I worked only for 4 years. And to this day, I have 3 friends from that job. I was in my early 30s, which is so young. I mean, trust me when I tell you, you're going to realize how young you are right now. But yeah, they're so close to me. And you can meet some of the most beautiful people. You're going to meet some of the most beautiful people that you haven't even met yet. How about that?
Absolutely.
And friendships come, you have your friendships of all time, and then you have the ones you've met now, and then there's going to be the ones that maybe one day you meet when you're 40 and you're like, wow, like, you know, and those, that's the beauty of evolving and growing and becoming your own. There's some pretty amazing people out there. You just have to make sure you leave a little crack open at the door
Absolutely.
to let them in, you know?
Is there anything that you guys do with friends that you do like for self-care?
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I do facials. I'm, you know, when I first started my facials and stuff, I feel like that alone, I love helping people, you know, like self-care. I'm always promoting self-care as this.
You're
feel like
glowing. You're literally glowing right now.
I'm always, you know, like with my friends, hey, let's go out and just have like a girls, you know, night. I feel like just keeping like that girlhood community is so like sacred now and stuff. Or, you know, I'll go out with my friends like, hey, let's go on a nature trail walk. I love my nature
you've been
trail.
doing that lately.
I love my nature trails.
That's good. Getting some sunlight.
Sun, just getting sun. I feel like doing more healthier activities rather than going out and getting drunk and, you know, like doing the same crap or whatever. I think it's something so nice about like doing those healthy routines with other people and creating that bond through those activities.
beautiful.
See, I think that that's one thing that I will say about your generation that I think is a beautiful thing. I feel like I didn't think about those things when I was your age. I was
Same here.
hanging
Same
out
here.
and hanging out and hanging out and what's the next place and who's picking me up?
That
or
was
who are we picking up and-
version of self-care.
Yeah. And I look back and I'm like, man, I really wish my mindset would have been in a different place. And that's one thing your generation definitely does do. I think you guys are doing things a lot younger than we are. Like, you know,
Yeah. I
some
think taking care of
activities you
ourselves.
guys, do with your friends or things that
I
like
agree.
I'm doing now, you know? So that's a beautiful thing. That's good.
What about you? Do like self-care stuff with friends, or what would you describe as self-care, like to do with friends?
A couple of my friends and I like will plan to go to the gym together.
Yes.
And like we'll go to the gym, or like I said earlier, like line dancing is like a very big like
therapeutic,
yeah,
like you
it's
mentioned.
so therapeutic. Like you go there and you're not even thinking about anything. Like sometimes, sorry mom, I forget to text my mom and I'm just like, and it's, you know, it's getting late and my mom's probably freaking out in bed. Like, where is this girl? And I'm just over here on the dance floor, just dancing away, you know, having a good time. But the line dancing is definitely like a big thing for us. For sure, that we all do.
Yeah, I think again,
And the beach. Yes, the beach is
Oh,
a
yeah.
big.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the beach
Here
is
in
definitely
South Florida.
something for me.
as a Floridian, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not a
I
lot
miss
of
my
people
beach.
take advantage of the beach.
I really was like, damn, I need my beach when I was in New York. They all warned me, don't go to the beaches there. Don't go to the
Oh, right.
And I never went. And then when I would come visit and, throughout the months and stuff, I was like, I got to go to my beach. I got to go to my beach.
I definitely think like getting any pure kind of like sunlight.
Yeah.
Helps with like the anxiety, like, the depression.
There's
and,
research.
like, your
Yeah.
mindset.
I was sharing with you when I was dealing a lot with my anxiety and I was letting go of a few addictions that I had and going outside and just being out in the sun for like 30 to 45 minutes alone completely shifted my
But
attitude.
I think that's what plays into part of like during COVID with like people feeling lonely.
Yeah.
It was you were trapped inside your house. You had
everyone
no-
forgot to step outside. and
everyone
just even
to
get
go
some
take
air.
a walk
Yeah.
or whatever, and like that's probably what impacted a lot of people's mental health and their state of mind because you're trapped in a little four corner room. And
For sure.
yeah, I know I was going crazy.
I think what I've really learned from this is, that we have a lot of differences and yet we all have commonalities. I mean, do we all agree?
There's a lot of similarities. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we value friendships and how important they are. And I love, Leticia, that you said, like, having that community feel. That's me. Like, I have to feel like I believe and trust the fact that there's still good people out there and that what you put out is what you get back. So if you truly believe that you can reach out to your community, whether through different activities like line dancing and even through, going to school and venturing out in a new career or even through work or or self-care, going out for a walk, like, you can utilize, there's a commonality with like activities and bringing your people with you and spending time doing things that are healthy, especially for the Gen Zers who, I've learned today is the lonely generation. And but there's so many things that you can utilize as tools to help you overcome all those things and that you're not alone and that there is a community out there that you can tap into. And we learned to also that we also have to believe that we can tap into that community and that'll reach and come back to us. And I learned a lot about your generation today. So thank you so much. And overall that, the value of friendships. I mean, we all need a network of support to get us through the different stages of life, especially you ladies where you're at right now. And I don't know, is there anything else that anybody wants to add?
Well, I mean, just to wrap it up, I think, what are two things that you could say? Well, what's one thing you say that you love about your generation, and what's one thing that you not necessarily hate, but wish you could improve on?
I think one thing I really appreciate, again, is our awareness, and how we're really impacting people with our choice of words and our delivery and stuff. So, and we're also teaching, the
Mature people.
more mature. There you go. People of much older generations, and even with my work relationships, I work with older women in the, med spa industry and in the skincare. A lot of it is catering to older women. So I feel like we're both learning from both generations and stuff, and how to be with each other and how to take care of one another, keeping that unity still with our people. And
to improve, or that you don't like?
I think the lack of, again, a little being too sensitive, but also the lack of grace and empathy. Yeah, I think we're kind of like forgetting about that. And again, we're all human.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like we should give each other some more grace for our generation.
And you, Jalissa, what are things you love about your generation and things that you don't love?
This one actually plays on both sides.
Okay.
Social media. I feel like social media, I love it because it can connect you through with people and like create a community to where you can be friends. Like that's what it did for me with the line dancing community, honestly. Like social media really brought that closer for us. But it's also in a negative aspect where people use it to tear each other down and critique and like compare to one another and like, use it for the negative reasons rather than the positive reasons.
Is it possible, if you make a friend online, do you think it's a real friend? Is it possible to say this is a real friend?
Yeah.
But you've never met them?
I feel like a friend doesn't define what's in front of you, like physically.
Okay. So online friends can be very impactful.
Yeah, I know a lot of, like the streamers and stuff, they make genuine friendships, through their people meeting online and,
Wow.
and stuff like that. It's like a
It's real.
It's real.
It's real. Thank you so much for your honesty, ladies. I was just horsing around earlier today, but I really appreciate everything that you shared with us. I learned a lot, and I think you're both so beautiful. And I hope you believe in yourselves. You go for your dreams. Don't be afraid to use your voice. A little confrontation never hurts nobody. But thank you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
for
guys for
having
making
us
the
here.
time.
Thank you, ladies. I really enjoyed this segment, and thanks you so much for coming.
Thank you guys for being here.
And ladies, hasta la próxima.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe to our show so you don't miss an episode.
We will be dropping an episode every 2 weeks. Oh yeah. No, like seriously. Subscribe now.
So just chill till the next episode. Follow us on Insta and TikTok